All right. Hi, everyone. Sorry, let me turn that off. Okay. So let's just take a moment and show up where we are. Let yourself sink into the chair or whatever you're sitting on. Feel the effect of gravity on your body, just holding you to the earth. There's a teaching already just kind of coming forward. That just has to do with perspective. You know, right now there's so many places to look that are on fire, so many places to look where terrible things are happening, and the immediate emotional climate, even in places where horrible things are not actively occurring, is also sort of on fire just because an entire world is watching horror. But this existence is big. Below your feet, there are miles and miles of still earth, nurturing, active, scores of beings that have lives and activities that are completely independent and ignorant of all the things that are creating the emotional stirring of humans right now. Above you, miles of sky, endless space. For things to look the way they look, you have to really focus on a set of storylines. And those storylines, they deserve our attention. Something needs to be done. But when we become the puppet of those storylines, when we allow those storylines to govern every feeling in our body, we contribute to what makes being on this earth so difficult as a human. We have to find a way to act for the good of the whole without becoming a puppet for all the bad that is being done. And one road into that is to just recognize that we've placed a filter on life to only see the chaos, to only see the horror. Right now, if you were to look at your life without that filter, you are surrounded in manifestations of abundance. There's a whole world around you that is still functioning. There are whole people that are complete beings in and of themselves, that are resources of social support for you. There are even a lot of things this country still provides us. It doesn't make what's happening okay, but when you cut that out of the picture it makes it very difficult to endure. It's like when you've been working and working and working at a desk for a really long time, and then at some point you decide to look up and you can see out through the window. And it's almost like you forgot there was an outside. You know, you look up and suddenly it's just this relief, because for a while your life was just whatever you were focusing on the desk. We need to look up. We need to look up so that we have the energy to actually face and be with the difficulty that's on the table, the difficulty that's on the desk. We need to look up so that what's on the desk doesn't dominate the screen of our mind, so that it can sit in a broader context, so that we feel more resourced to be able to do something. So I'm not sure who needs that or why that's coming out, but it was coming out very, very strongly. And today has been a day of flooded energy. There's just a feeling of flooding. Great, Suki. Thank you. All right, guys. So let's go into meditation. You know, one person I used to study with used to describe meditation as, you know, you wake up in the morning and then you go to your meditation cushion and you sit down and then you just open up and fly. And that's what meditation is. It is a looking up from the desk so that your consciousness can fly into that broader context. Take in everything at once without allowing any one story to dominate. All the different ways in which you're manipulated in life, it's all people dominating you with a story, trapping your attention so that you become the emotional puppet for a story that's happening. Meditation, you look up from that. So let's do that tonight. Let's get a break from all the difficulties of life without asking those difficulties to disappear. We're going to just look up from that desk and take in the broader context of reality. So, attention at the forehead and crown. Sink into wherever you're seated so that you're firmly rooted. There's miles of earth supporting you. Miles and miles below you. Holding you up. Nourishing you. And endless space to fly above you. Attention at the forehead and crown. Eyes just sort of stabilized somewhere in front of you or on a desk in front of you or on the floor. Let the picture of the room you're in be present all at once. Everything, including the periphery, all seen at once, no one thing to focus on. And from there, we're just going to breathe. Here you are in a vast universe, watching your breath. slow yourself down. Nothing to cling to. Nothing in this moment to fix. Sometimes the shift is a little uncomfortable. Just let the discomfort be there. It'll clean itself up. In the end, everything cleans itself up. Everything is always moving back towards stability. Awareness, meditation, accelerates the move towards stability. As your story starts to slow down, and the inner storm starts to still, be aware of the moment that's actually present. And just be in it cleanly. Not as a practice, but as your fundamental existence. is what's real. How gently can you step into it? How gently can you remove the clothing of false storylines and manipulated meanings? How gently can you give up? Your own storylines and just be with what's real, with what doesn't require your mind to conjure it. Let this be enough. Let this be enough and your heart will fill back up. Compare it to another moment and your heart will be empty again. Let this moment be. Unqualified, unjudged. And contain yourself within it. No reaching into other moments. When the mind puts forth invitations to step into past moments, just let the invitation be part of the present. Nothing to resist, but you don't have to accept the invitation either. Let it sit in the vast context of this giant, crystal clear moment. Miles of support from below, endless space above. Sandwiching a thin layer of activity, opportunity for challenge and growth. There's room for all of it. Our worst moments, our best moments, our neutral moments. Just like there's miles of earth below you and infinite space above you, there's infinite storyline of past behind you and infinite potential futures ahead of you. And they're all here now. Don't think about that, just sit with it. It's all one picture with smooth parts and pointy parts, some dangerously sharp parts. If you just focus on the hard angles, it's going to look very angular. But you can take a step back and let the angles exist in the context of the larger picture. Everything you've been, everything you've done, everything humankind has been and done, everything sentient life has been and done, a bottlenecked moment happening to a force that is the most adaptive force in the universe. Conflict driving the eternal story of challenge, of power through challenge. Strength through facing adversity. Those moments have been part of the picture forever. They're part of what makes the good times good. Part of what makes smooth, smooth. Show up for this moment. And let the whole picture be there with you. they would climb a mountain if the storyline didn't include getting to the top, surmounting the challenge. It's the context that makes the work bearable. Show up in this moment. If you're losing your focus, return to your breath. Take in the entire room at once. And don't hard focus on any one thing. with this stillness, let's move up and down the mountain. Just once, maybe twice. Exhale down into your heart center. And just be in the heart. Nothing to do, just be present in the heart. And down now to the lower center. A few inches into the body and a few inches below the navel. A big ball encompassing your lower three chakras. Held by the earth. It's gravity pulling you closer. Let the frenetic energies drop into the earth. Rise back up to the heart. Back up to the head, forehead and crown. One more quick cycle. Exhale down to the heart. Down to the lower center. Back up to the heart. And back up to the head. What this world needs is emotionally regulated people. People who have personal power, and who act upon their own balance so that that power can flow through a balanced vessel. Everybody in this room is capable of that. You've all been working at this sort of thing a very long time. And when you sit there wondering, well, what can I do? What can I give? This is something you can give in any moment that is useful. This is what you can give in any moment. You can find a million other useful things to give as well. But this is the gift you can give that doesn't deplete your resources. You actually come out of it more resourced. What you can give is your stability. What you can give is a giant context for it all to dissolve into. the most powerful things you can do for anything or anyone is have faith in balance. Balance always wins. Maybe not in your lifetime, but a lifetime's like a blip. It's okay. If even just the 6 people in this room committed themselves to that emotional regulation, to actually sitting down and getting their energy in line when it starts to go out, that would spread far and wide through everybody you're connected to. Connections are what's making things feel so horrible anyways. We're feeling everybody's emotional dysregulation. So this week, could you do me a favor and just commit the next 7 days to acting on any emotional dysregulation that arises in you, bringing it back into context. Give yourself 7 days of not just letting yourself spin out. And at the end of 7 days, see if you want to continue it. I think if you see how that feels, you'll quickly get to a bar that you don't fall down below again. You're the ones that can do it. Someone has to. All right, guys. Any questions about that before we end for the night? All right. I'll be here next Thursday. See you then. Have a good week.
Thank you, Lou.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Liam.